Let us look at some legal considerations when planning for assessment. There are some technical requirements of assessment. These include reliability, validity, absence of bias, and fairness. Reliability is the consistency in measurement. It is the extent to which measurements in an assessment remain consistent over repeated assessments of the same students under identical conditions. There are different types of reliability evidence: stability, alternated form, and internal consistency. We will go into more details later into the course. However, I want to spend some time on validity. Validity is the extent to which an assessment measures what it intends to measure. It is the extent to which inferences made from assessments are meaningful and used in terms of the purpose of the assessment. Types of validity evidence: content validity, construct validity, criterion-related validity, which is further divided into concurrent validity, and predictive validity. This evidence is determined by the nature of the assessment and the specifications used in development, the nature of the psychological characteristics being assessed, the relationship between the results and a significant criterion, and the consequences of using the assessment. Content validity is also called logical or rational validity. One needs to ask certain questions to determine content validity. Are the sample of behaviors which are being tested truly representative of the universe of tasks which the test represents? Do the test items reflect the knowledge, skills, and attitudes, or the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domains intended by your instructional objectives? Do these test items measure what they claim to measure? What does content validity involve? Content validity involves essentially the systematic examination of the test items to determine whether they cover a representative sample of the behavior domain to be covered. This means that the assessment should be aligned with the content taught and emphasis placed on this content. The term construct refers to a psychological construct, a theoretical conceptualization about an aspect of human behavior which cannot be measured or observed directly. Examples include intelligence, motivation, anxiety, achievement, attitudes, and values. It asks the question, how well can performance on an assessment be explained in terms of psychological characteristics? There are two types of criterion validity: concurrent validity and predictive validity. How accurately does performance on the assessment estimate present performance on some other value measured? It is used to determine the extent to which one measure is an adequate substitute for the other, which is a criterion. Predictive validity is involved if we are concerned about a test score's relationship with a criterion which will be measured in the future. Do you remember the common entrance, which eventually changed to GSAT, and now the primary exit profile PEP? These are examples of tests which are used for predictive purposes. Absence of bias in assessment suggests that the items in an assessment should not offend or unfairly penalize students based on, among other things, gender, ethnicity, religion, or socioeconomic status. Therefore, assessment should be reviewed for bias based on cultural stereotypes, and assignments should never favor one group over the other. Fairness in assessment requires care in preparing and using assessment procedures, clearly communicating our intentions to students, and using the results to improve learning. Students should therefore be aware of the knowledge, skills, and disposition which will be measured in the assessment. In this presentation, we looked at 4 legal considerations when planning and designing assessments: reliability, validity, absence of bias, and fairness.